All right, let's get straight to it. Just when you think the Kansas City Chiefs might be done making moves this offseason, rumors start flying again. And this time, it's not just noise, it's names. Big names. We're talking about legit veterans who could still make a real impact. Now here's the question every Chiefs fan should be asking. Is Brett Veach cooking up one more signing before training camp begins? Look, this front office isn't one to sit still. The Chiefs have had one of the more efficient off-seasons in the league, reloading the wide receiver room, investing in the offensive line, and still leaving some wiggle room to add talent. That's not by accident. Brett Veach has always played chess while the rest of the AFC is stuck on checkers. Now let's be clear. Nobody's saying the Chiefs are desperate. This roster is in a strong spot, but depth wins in the NFL, and Kansas City knows that better than anyone. Whether it's a suspension, injury, or someone just not living up to expectations, having a veteran ready to go can be the difference between coasting through December or scrambling for a playoff bye. In this video, we're diving into 3 names that are still out there in free agency and could realistically land in Kansas City. You've got a veteran wideout, a rock-solid offensive lineman, and a proven pass rusher. All of them bring something different to the table, and all 3 fit a very specific need that this team might have come September. But before we get to the names, let me ask you this. Do you think the Chiefs are done making moves this offseason? Type yes or no in the comments. I'll be reading them and responding to some of the best takes. And hey, if you want to stay locked in with the latest Chiefs news and rumors, we're pushing for 4,000 subscribers here on Total Chiefs News. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you never miss a daily update. Let's keep rolling, because the next name we're talking about is a former Pro Bowl wideout who just might have a little left in the tank. Let's talk about the biggest name floating around right now, Amari Cooper. Yeah, that Amari Cooper, former first-round pick, 5-time 1,000-yard receiver, and still just 31 years old. The question is simple. Should the Chiefs sign him? Now, Cooper's last stop was with the Buffalo Bills after a decent run with the Browns. But let's be real. His stint in Buffalo didn't exactly turn heads. The Bills had high hopes that he'd be the missing piece, but the production just wasn't there. Still, that doesn't mean he's done. For Kansas City, bringing in Cooper wouldn't be about making him the #1 guy. That job belongs to Rashee Rice, well, assuming he's on the field, and rookie Xavier Worthy, who's got real upside. You also brought in Hollywood Brown and have Juju back in the mix. So Cooper isn't coming in to dominate targets. He's coming in to add insurance and veteran leadership. Here's where this starts to make sense. No one knows yet. What's going to happen with Xavier Worthy or Rashee Rice when it comes to possible NFL discipline? If suspensions come down, and that's a real possibility, you've got to be prepared. The offense can't afford to stall out early in the season while Mahomes adjusts on the fly. And what if an injury hits? One twisted ankle or hamstring pull in camp or early in the season could shake up the entire WR depth chart. Adding Amari Cooper means you've got a proven guy who can step in, win routes, and help move the chains. Is Cooper still a 1-200-yard guy? Probably not. But could he give you 600, 700 yards as a third option and show up in clutch moments? Absolutely. Let me ask you this. Should the Chiefs sign Amari Cooper? Type S for sign or P for pass in the comments below. I want to know where you stand. Also, if you're enjoying this breakdown, help us hit our goal of 4,000 subscribers. Total Chiefs News is your daily Chiefs fix. So hit that button and show some love to Chiefs Kingdom. Up. Next, we're switching to the trenches. A former Pro Bowler who could stabilize the O-line and protect Mahomes better than anyone expected. Let's talk about Brandon Scherff. Now let's move to the offensive line. Because while it's not the flashiest topic, it's one of the most important. We've seen what happens when Patrick Mahomes doesn't have time to throw, and honestly, the Chiefs can't afford to take chances up front. That's where Brandon Scherff comes in. Scherff is a name that's been around the league for a while. Former first-round pick, multiple-time Pro Bowler, and most recently with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's 33 now, and while he's not in his prime anymore, he's still got enough left to be a solid contributor. And here's what's really interesting. Despite his age, Scherff didn't allow a single sack last season. Not one. Let that sink in. For a team like Kansas City, where Mahomes was sacked more in 2024 than in any other year of his career, that kind of stat should raise eyebrows. We all saw how the offense struggled at times under pressure. That's why Scherff is worth a serious look. Right now, the left guard position is kind of in flux. The Chiefs are leaning toward Kingsley Suamataia to hold it down, but that's a risky bet. Kingsley is still learning the position after bouncing around the line, and there's no guarantee he's ready for the starting job. Other in-house options like Jalen Mayfield and Mike Caliendo are serviceable. But are they really who you want protecting the franchise in critical situations? Bringing in Scherff doesn't mean you're giving up on Kingsley. It means you're adding competition. It means if Kingsley struggles in camp, you've got a guy ready to step in. And even if Scherff starts the year as a backup, he brings experience, toughness, and leadership to that locker room. So here's the question. Should the Chiefs bring in Brandon Scherff? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comments. I want your take on whether Scherff could be a smart insurance policy for KC. And hey, if protecting Mahomes is your top priority this season, hit that like button. Let's show the front office that Chiefs Kingdom wants a rock-solid O-line. Next up, we shift to defense. There's a veteran pass rusher still out there with double-digit sack upside. Let's talk about why Za'Darius Smith might be the most important name on this list. All right, now let's flip over to defense because we all know that the Chiefs' pass rush was a huge talking point last season. They simply didn't have enough consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Enter Za'Darius Smith. Smith is a proven edge rusher who's been productive over the years with teams like the Baltimore Ravens, Green Bay Packers, Cleveland Browns, and Detroit Lions. Even though he's getting older, the sack numbers haven't really dropped off that much. In 2023, he totaled 9 sacks between Cleveland and Detroit. That's still solid production for a guy who knows how to get after the QB. Kansas City's depth at edge rusher has been a bit shaky. You've got George Karlaftis and Charles Omenihu, who have potential but haven't yet shown consistent dominance. Then there are young players like King Felix and Ashton Gelati trying to break through. But the truth is, you can never have too many pass rushers, especially when you want to keep that defense elite. Adding Za'Darius Smith would bring experience, leadership, and instant impact ability. It's not just about the sacks. Smith is a player who can help mentor the younger guys, show them the ropes, and help the defensive line gel as a unit. If the Chiefs want to get serious about fixing their biggest defensive weakness, bringing in someone like Smith makes sense. It's a no-brainer depth move that could pay dividends during the grind of the season. So here's the real question for you. If you had to choose one player from the 3 we've talked about, Amari Cooper, Brandon Scherff, or Za'Darius Smith, who would you pick? Type AC for Amari Cooper, BS for Brandon Scherff, or ZS for Za'Darius Smith in the comments below. I'm curious to see what Chiefs Kingdom thinks. And remember, if you want to keep getting daily Chiefs updates like this, make sure you subscribe to Total Chiefs News. We're so close to hitting 4,000 subscribers, and every single one of you makes a difference. Coming up next, let's wrap this all up with a look at why depth might just be the secret weapon for the Chiefs in 2025. Stay tuned. So here we are, wrapping up this final look at what could still be brewing in Kansas City's offseason. The truth is, the Chiefs are in a strong spot, but the NFL season is a long one. Injuries happen, suspensions might come, and sometimes the difference between a good team and a championship team is the depth and experience waiting on the bench. Adding a veteran like Amari Cooper gives the receiving corps insurance and leadership. Signing Brandon Scherff means shoring up the offensive line and giving Mahomes a better chance to operate under pressure. And bringing in Za'Darius Smith would help address the defensive line's biggest need, a consistent, proven pass rusher who can change the game. Each of these moves tells you something about how Brett Veach and the Chiefs think. They want to be ready for every scenario, to have multiple weapons and answers. Because in the AFC West and the playoffs, you can never be too prepared. Now it's your turn. If you could only pick one of these three players to add to the Chiefs for 2025, who would it be? Drop your choice in the comments below and let's get that conversation going. And hey, before you go, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We're pushing hard to reach 4,000 subscribers, and your support means everything. Also, smash that like button if you're excited about what this team can do this season. Thanks for hanging out with me here on Total Chiefs News. I'll see you next time with more updates, rumors, and all the Chiefs news you need. Until then, keep that Chiefs Kingdom pride strong, and let's get ready for an exciting 2025.